I invested huge amounts of money. The type of money that most people would probably say they are going all in on. Like if you think about all the money that you have in your portfolio, it was a huge amount of money. And I want to explain my reasons why. Welcome back to Cryptogains. Stick around. Bubblemaps is not like your meme coin. It's not like your AI coin. If it uses AI, great. I don't know if it does or not. But it's one of the most superior technologies I've ever seen in this crypto space. And it's heavily embedded into the crypto world. We see it on projects like, platforms like Dex Screener. You can come down, down here, and you can see where it shows holders, liquidity providers. You've got Bubblemaps. It's embedded into Dex tools. These two platforms are the biggest platforms for people finding new cryptocurrencies that get launched on, platforms like pump.fun. And I just think that Bubblemaps, when you look away from meme coins and you look away from AI and you want to invest in something that is just pure hardcore technology that this world depends on, this is it. This really is it. And you just have to look at their socials. Look at the Twitter, 268,000 followers. The biggest YouTubers of the biggest, anything, they follow this. They use this. You have YouTubers that aren't even in crypto, that aren't crypto influencers. What's his face? The detective guy. He uses Bubblemaps as well. And look, just an example. Look, August 21st, they talk about something. It gets 1 million views. 1 million views. They have huge views on their posts when they post something. So this shows that this is a technology that's going to live on forever. And I really do believe that Bubblemaps will become one of the most dominant analytic tools that we use in this crypto space for the next 30, 40, 50 years. It will become an importance. And as I sit here talking about fantastic projects like Bitty, this is a fine example of why I believe Bubblemaps will become the biggest thing. And, because it helps people give you a visual of the holders. And so you can see the deception behind the project to see if one person is trying to bag a load of different tokens and hide the deception. And, because when you look at, if you go on something like, I'll grab up Bitty again as an example, right? We'll just use that as an example. There's only one Bitty now. There's no point saying the original, it's Bitty, right? You come onto the thingy, you find Bitty. When people go onto like the Soul Scan, and this was before Bubblemaps came along, right? By the way, not financial advice, educational purposes. If you're going to invest, put what you can afford to lose. I don't have to say it's high risk because it's not a meme coin. This is just a superior technology that the world depends on. I depend on it now. Before Bubblemaps came along, you was able to go on their blockchains and click on holders, and then you can see the holders. There's big holders here, 3%, 2%, and all these different percentages. But how do you know if every single holder here is an individual person? You don't know. You're kind of guessing. And then there's 100 pages worth of holders, you see? How do you know if every holder that you see is an individual investor? You don't know. And this is with Bitty, right? So what Bubblemaps does is it allows you to go over to Bubblemaps. You can search that token, or now you just come to Dex Screener because it's embedded into it, and then you click on the Bubblemaps, and then it shows you a visualization of the holders. And then you can see here, this is the most recent bubble that we have here because they're obviously doing marketing, right? So they've created a marketing wallets where people can obviously use those wallets for marketing, and I think that's great. I love how transparent they are. But if you didn't know that, if they didn't make that post, you'd say, oh, okay, well, there's a wallet here that holds 1% of the supply, 1% of the supply. Why are they holding 1% of the supply? Which is, 4% cluster. So if I didn't know, if I wasn't able to use Bubblemaps, I wouldn't be able to see this. And if Bitty didn't post on their thing saying about having wallets as a marketing, people wouldn't know. You would just you'd look at this and be like, oh, I don't know. I think that every wallet's an individual investor, every single wallet. But now you can see, and Bubblemaps lets you do this thing called. I'm going to use the other Bitty as well. It's just an example, as an example to what I'm trying to get at. While Bubblemaps is so powerful. It allows you to click on this thing called magic nodes. And then what it does is it connects all of the wallets, meaning that if there was one person holding more than 2-3 4 or 5 different wallets, sorry, the coin in loads of different wallets, you would be able to see it by clicking this. See? So now you can zoom out and you can say, okay, this must be the marketing wallet because they mentioned it. A few other little wallets that don't have much money in it, but it's there, it's connected. And this is what it does, it connects it. And so you can see people have wallets here. And actually we can also do this for Bubblemaps as well. Is this Bubblemaps? So let's take a look at Bubblemaps, right? So you click on Bubblemaps, and the Bubblemaps, you see this? And then you can click on the nodes, and then you can see how you got one person here that's got a few wallets, because I've a few wallets there. And actually, this isn't bad. When you look at wallets like this that have maybe 2 or 3, that's not bad. It's been well known to put yourself into practice that when you buy a coin, let's say you buy $5,000 worth of a coin, you should never leave it in one wallet. You should split it in multiple wallets, because if that wallet goes down, you've left your eggs all in one basket, and that's it. You're done. You've lost all your crypto. So for the most part, what I'm seeing here is someone's bought some coins and they've just moved it to multiple wallets, so they've protected their investment. And that's what you get. You get like these triangles. You get 3 or 4 wallets connected, something like that, and that's good. It's only when you start coming over to this is the other bitty. So you got the main, you got the actual bitty, and then you have I'm just going to call it fake bitties, ones that are just there's deception behind it. When you click on the Bubblemaps, and if you click on the node, because look, it looks fine, right? And you think, oh, it's fine, all separate wallets. But once you click the nodes, you start to see how there's heavy connection. Now, there was one wallet that made all of these go together, and I think what the person's done is they've basically moved all of the funds from that one wallet to try and disconnect these, so it didn't look like they were one wallet. Because if you go back onto my videos, which I'll see if I can grab it up real quick. So look, if you look in this video here that I did, I'll turn it down because I'm just too loud. I turned on the magic nodes, and then you could see how that one wallet had all of these connected. So they can try and delete a wallet or move funds from a wallet, and I think it would just be this little one here. Look, see this one right in the middle here? They probably just removed whatever funds that they had, so it disconnected all the other wallets. But that doesn't hide the fact that that person or whoever it is, the entity, still has huge amounts of wallets. It's heavily controlled. And again, you wouldn't have been able to have known this if Bubblemaps didn't exist. We would simply go on SoulScan and think, oh, there's loads of holders, there's loads of people believe in it. But really what's happening is one person or a certain entity is holding huge amounts of the supply, and they're putting it into loads of different wallets to make it look like there's loads of different people, but that's not true. And then what happens is people buy into it thinking there's loads of holders, and then they just slowly dump on it, dump. And then what the result is, it ends sadly in something like this, where the price goes up. I just flip it like onto the 4-hour time frame or the hour time frame. It goes up. And then the person that has all of these tokens dump it on you, and then it just keeps dumping and dumping and dumping. People call it a cabal, right? I'm not sure why people still buy this, but it's up to them. It's entirely up to you what you want to do, but I wouldn't be buying that. I would just go for bitty. This is it. This is bitty. And this is it. So this is why I think Bubblemaps is powerful, and it will forever live on now for us as people. When we do our research into cryptocurrencies, if I'm going to buy a new coin, I'm going to look at the market caps, I'm going to look at the supplies, I'm going to look at what's going on with it, and then I'm going to look at the Bubblemaps. I want to see if I'm getting in, is there any deception, is there any lies, is there anything going on that should make me say no? And without this tool now, I don't think I could live without it. So because of that, and there's a huge amount of people that use Bubblemaps, and I depend on it. So because of this, I think that Bubblemaps is going to be one of the biggest projects in this entire crypto space that would live on forever. Because now you're not talking about a meme coin that may or may not do well. You're not talking about some AI tech that people might or might not like, or they might like it for 1 month and then it bores people the next month. You're talking about something that people use every single day, and people will continue to use it. So because of that, this for me looks like a superior, just an amazing investment. So I really did put big money, and when I say all in, I don't know how much the average person has. But I know that I was, and I still consider myself average, I was someone that didn't have a lot of money. And when I invested in crypto years ago, I didn't have thousands or tens of thousands. So, just $10,000 going into one coin would have been a lot for me, and that's a lot of money. It really is. Especially when you've got kids and you've got bills to pay, it's a lot of money, right? So I try to think about the average person. So if I invest $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 into a coin, please understand, for me, that's a huge investment. and it shows where my conviction lies with this project. And I'm so glad that I've done it at 18 million market cap, 19 million, which I know fully diluted is 73 million. This just basically talks about a vesting schedule. So when the token was launched, they had people that can get in early on a pre-sale or something like that, and those people on the pre-sale are still receiving their tokens, but it's linear, meaning that it will take a few years for them to receive all their tokens. I've done all this research. I'll show you again. Look, I'm on vesting here. You can come down and you can see clearly the vesting schedule. So just before I invested into Bubblemaps, putting big money, I came over here to see the vesting schedule to say, is it worth doing this? Am I going to get dumped on with these people that got in on the pre-sale? And I can see that I won't, because I believe that by come September 25 up here, I think that the market may be reaching its top. September, October 2025. I don't think it's going to go all the way through to 2026, March 2026. So I look at this and I say, well, if it's going to end in September 2025 or October 2025, this bar will slowly come forward like this, unlocking the rest of these blues and this sort of grayish. And then I kind of get a chance to skip, this whole yellow linear, this green linear, this purple linear of all these tokens that are going to get unlocked and dumped over the years. But it takes you... So I'm burping. It would take years for them to dump it, because it's slowly getting dripped out to them from the pre-sale that they got in. It goes right through to 2027, 2028, almost 2029. It is 2029. This vesting schedule ends in 2029. So I know that now's the best time to buy Bubblemaps, because when it gets to September, that's when all these two start to unlock, and then obviously more people start to release. And at that point, I'd like to believe that the market's done really well. Bubblemaps has done extremely well, because people see the need for this technology, or this what it is. It's superior technology, and that's when that's when I have the chance to capitalize. But it's obviously buying it now. Look, this is backed by consensus. Projects that I know. I've never heard of Momentum. Free Ventures, Polygon, Avalanche, big names. Aptos, Ledger. It's backed by Ledger. So I know that when I'm and many more, look, the Sandbox, when I invest in this, I'm not just investing in some silly technology. This is proven technology that has huge backers behind it. And on top of that, it's got great partnerships. Like I said, Dex Tools, Dex Screener. You've got Base over there, which use it. Binance Smart Chain, Solana, Pump.fun. There's huge companies, projects behind this that give me reasons to say yes. And the best thing that you can possibly get with a project when it comes to investing is, how easy is it for new money to be able to buy it? When you click on Markets tab on CoinGecko for Bubblemaps, you can see it's listed on every single exchange you can possibly think of. HTX, Gate.io, Binance, MEXC, BitGet, Lbank, Hotcoin, Bybit. And look at the money that's being transferred. Look, there's $3 million, $1 million, 4.8 million, 2.5 million. There's huge amounts of money that's being... And same with like the DEXs as well, because I bought this on Jupiter Swap. So Jupiter Exchange. So and there's $3 million in volume. There's huge amounts of money in Bubblemaps, making it easy for people. Well, this one here says 770K. I must have been looking on PancakeSwap, because on PancakeSwap they had about $3 million in volume on the Binance Smart Chain. So it's not like they've just launched a coin. There's hardly any liquidity for people to sell. You're getting hit with impact fees and stuff. There's nothing like that. They've launched this fairly and properly, where they've clearly, this team has sat down before they launched and said, look, I want to launch this, but let's get angel investors on board so we have enough liquidity for people to buy it and sell it. And that's not easy to do. And I'll show you, I'll bring it up on PancakeSwap. It's not easy to get $3 million just sitting there in liquidity for people to buy and sell. Hold on, I've pressed the wrong thing. So these are the things that I think about when I invest in a project. Like, what kind of efforts have they gone through to make it so it's easy for people to buy? And you can see it. Look, this is the Binance Smart Chain. You can see a little pancake icon, right? Look at the volume. Look at the liquidity. Look, the $3 million in liquidity, easy for people to buy. Because I was going to come over here and buy it. I just decided to do it on Jupiter. And that, even then, it was all right. It wasn't too bad. It depends on how much you're buying. If you're buying large amounts like I am, then you might get a little impact fee. But I was happy with what I'm buying, because I'm buying at a market cap that's incredibly low. I remember when it launched and it went right up to here, a 68 million market cap. And I was like, damn, I've missed it. Look, if I put it on price, I missed it. I was like, I wish this comes back down. It was sitting about 27 cents. Right now it's 7 cents. And I think it's going to go beyond 7 cents. I think we are looking at a project this doesn't need a narrative to move, because the technology will make it move, because everybody keeps using its technology. And I know you do. I know that if you're in my Patreon, I know you come over and you check the bubble maps. It's like a thing now. We need to check it. We need to know what's going on. And this visual tells us if the project is genuine, or if there's disingenuine people that are trying to do something up on you to try and capitalize on people. It tells you if someone's disingenuine. That looks disingenuine. And this is why this one will continue to shine and do really well, along with many other projects that show a genuine visual on Bubblemaps, where you can see the holders are genuine. It's not urban controlled, and this is what makes people build trust in a project and trust in the investments that you're doing. But none of this would have been made possible if it wasn't for this Bubblemaps. So I like it, and I think this is going to continue to be one of the best projects that we've ever seen in this crypto space. And I'm glad to be investing in something that actually has a strong use case in this crypto space. So I want to leave it here. I wanted to share my verdict on Bubblemaps, why I think it's one of the best investments I've done in 2025. And I think that anyone that's paying attention to this now, you could, if it goes the way I believe it's going to go, you could reap massive rewards. Like, you really could. I think there's a clean 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x in this easy. I think Bubblemaps would be up in the billions in the future. And I don't care if it's not this cycle. I would if it weren't this cycle and I had to hold it for the next cycle, I would. Just like what I did with XRP back in 2015, or whenever I was buying, I just held it for a long, long time. And then obviously it went up and made crazy gains. And because from 2015 to 2017, 2018, that's when the cycle ran up. I held it for years. And I'll do the same with Bubblemaps, because I know the potential behind it. Right now it says down, overall, look at this, max. It says down 29%, really? When did it launch on this then? Look at this, it's, all-time low was 6 cents, almost 7 cents. So you're right now, at the time I was recording this video, you were able to get it near enough at the bottom, the lowest that it's been. Yesterday it says it was its lowest. You're literally, that's great, because I bought it. That's when I bought it. Literally buying it at its lowest price entry. If you think that the bull market's going to come and this isn't going to move up, then you'd be crazy, because you're dealing with something that has incredible value in this space. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you for watching. Become a Patreon. The link's in the info section. Click it, come over. I haven't showed you in a while. I'll quickly show you it. I've got 7 tiers. Take your pick. I recommend my exclusive VIP partner tier. This one here, it's my most popular. Oh no, it's changed. This one, let me go back. This one. It was my popular tier. Now it's gone up. People are favoring the CEO tier. But this is the one I recommend people go for. Yeah, because you can unlock all the posts. You won't miss nothing. You'll see when I'm buying. You'll see when I'm selling. Just like what they saw. They saw this. They saw that I was buying this because I drop an alert to them. If you can afford it, that next tier above. But hold on. Go back. Look, loads of different tiers, whichever one's best for you. But the next, and read the tiers, please, because some people come in and they don't know what they're getting. Read the tiers. There's a nice description on what you're going to get, right, when you join. The CEO tier gives you access to my VIP Telegram group. It's a powerful network. There's millionaires in the group. They understand trends. They understand how to make money in this crypto space. They're smart investors, right? If you like memes and that high risk stuff, they're doing that all the time. They're 4, 5, 6 sexing all the time. That sounded rude. 4, 5, 6 sexing. 6x in, like six times your money back. They're doing that all the time in the group. So come over, check it out, be part of the powerful network. And yeah, thank you for hearing me out. Have a good day. See you in the next video. Cheers. Never be defeated.